Welcome to Anglia Ruskin University, although I should say, as given this is an alumni event, welcome back to Anglia Ruskin University. I'm Ian Martin, and it's my absolute privilege to be the Vice-Chancellor of this wonderful university. I've been here as VC for about 8 months. I started middle of March, and I've had an absolutely incredible first 8 months learning about what is an extraordinary institution with an incredible network of partners, activities, and engagement that is happening in such a wide variety of areas and a wide variety of expertise. It is just incredible. One of the things that I wanted to be able to do in my time as VC was celebrate the extraordinary achievements of those who've passed through Anglia Ruskin University, and I'm not going to list the names that went before it, but every other organisation that contributed to the forming of Anglia Ruskin University. I know if I list them out, I'll miss one out, and I will get myself in all sorts of trouble tonight. But from the very origins in 1858 right through to now, doesn't matter where you came from, which bit, you're part of the Anglia Ruskin family, and it's great to have you here to be able to celebrate the wonderful achievements of our alumni. Tonight's event is the beginning of what I hope will be a regular series of alumni engagement events where we can build relationships with our alumni, but also help celebrate their outstanding achievements. I was really keen on having an Alumni Awards series, not because it singles out any one individual, but it is testament to the quality and strength of those who've passed through our institution over the years. We started this relatively quickly after I started, and we've run a relatively short time frame this year. But even with that short time frame, we had over 100 nominations for the awards that you're going to hear about tonight. The Alumni Advisory Board, who kindly worked their way through those nominations, and there was a fair amount of work in getting to that point, had some pretty difficult decisions to make in terms of where the awards should go. And I want to emphasize again tonight, we're seeing some outstanding alumni tonight, but there were many others amongst those 100 who, in other circumstances, could equally have been walking across the stage tonight. It was just a privilege to be able to see those achievements. So, to get this evening kicked off formally, I would like to invite Ben Garrett, who is not only our MC for this evening, but he is also one of ours, an Anglia Ruskin alumnus, to come to the stage and take over the comparing of this evening. Ben.
Thank you, Ian, first of all. When I was invited to do this talk this evening, over the ceremonies, there's always a mixed emotions. You just think, ceremonies, they can drag on a wee bit. You'll realise that I'm very straight-speaking, first of all. You think, they drag on a wee bit. And I don't always say yes, but with this one, I absolutely jumped at the chance. Because as cliche as it sounds, this is one of these opportunities where I really feel we've come together and really celebrate something really special. Now, again, being very blunt, there is a tendency to have this idea that there are different types of universities. There's Bristol and UWE, and there's Oxford and Oxford Brookes, and there's that other one and us. And when I was thinking, what do I say? How do I encapsulate how I feel about Anglia Ruskin? I wrote all these things down, I thought these different ideas, and it finally came to me. I was at a party back in my neck of the woods in Norfolk several months ago, and some friends introduced me to some other friends and some colleagues, and this one chap, you can imagine what he's like, he said, what it is? He said, I hear you went to Cambridge as well. I said, I did my undergrad in Cambridge, yeah. Oh, which college? I said, he's only about my age, I don't know why he's speaking like that. I said, they're all like that, aren't they? I said, I was from Anglia Ruskin, actually. We used to call them the Early Learning Centre. I said, did you? I said, since I left, I've worked for Jane Goodall in one of the most impressive conservation things in the world. I've just recently come back from filming with David Attenborough, and I've saved species all around the world and a teaching fellow. What is it you do again? It really brought home just how fiercely loyal we are to Anglia Ruskin. And whether it's because we've got this idea that we're not the big one, it doesn't matter. We are an incredibly successful, incredibly determined, driven community. Not a university, a community. And that's what we are. Whether it's the youngest, the eldest, whichever course you're doing, whichever generation you are from within this university, you're part of something bigger. And it's wonderful to come here this evening and be a part of the celebration of some of the most incredible, diverse, successful people we've had come through the doors of Anglia Ruskin. We're going to go into this a lot more later and obviously see what you've all been up to, but we've got some food. So enjoy your meal, and we'll be back at 9 o'clock. Thank you. We're now going to present the Vice-Chancellor's Outstanding Alumni Awards 2016. But firstly, I'd like to invite the Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, Professor Ian Martin, onto the stage, please.
Thank you, Ben.
Our first Outstanding Alumni Award this evening is the Alumni Service to Society Award. This award recognises alumni who have made an exceptional contribution and commitment to creating positive social change and improving the lives of others. Our first nominee this evening is Jan Cassidy. Brilliant. Loving the woo. Jan is a writer, environmental photographer, and independent prison health researcher. Jan qualified as a registered general nurse in 1984, and after raising her family, she came to ARU as a mature student to complete a BSc Honours in 1993. After completing her teaching certificate at the University of Cambridge, she joined the health service to teach clinical audit skills to clinicians. While auditing healthcare quality, Jan began a lifelong dedication to proving the health and human rights of prisoners. It was unusual for a lone woman to undertake research in prisons at that time, and Jan was the first person to interview prisoners individually to determine what their perceived health needs were. Jan then designed and implemented the first health needs assessment pro forma for prisoners in 1998. Jan was appalled by the high levels of blood-borne viruses in the prison population in the 1990s. With other researchers, she completed a pilot study vaccinating against hepatitis B whenever a prisoner was moved. This work was used as evidence for current policy which ensures all prisoners are vaccinated against hepatitis B. In 2000, Jan became a specialist commissioner for high and medium secure psychiatric hospitals. She argued for better, more appropriate care for those voiceless individuals. Jan's work was so inspirational, she was asked by the Home Office to advise on prison health, thereby having a direct impact on national policy. Although she had to retire early due to family pressures, Jan is still active and continues to publish. She's currently preparing a publication on the effectiveness of the NHA Toolkit for Prisons, published by government in 2014. Jan is regarded as a pioneer in her field. Our second nominee for this category is Neil Clefton, OBE. Neil graduated with a joint honours in geography and history in 1979 and has been the head teacher of Roundhay School in Leeds for over 20 years. During this time, he has transformed the school in terms of its leadership and management and worked closely with the Red Kite Teaching School Alliance to help improve learning and achievement in schools across Yorkshire and the Humber. Neil was one of the first national leaders in education to be appointed by the National College. He's been seconded to work with a number of schools, including as an executive head teacher, as well as coaching heads and supporting school leadership teams and governing bodies in several local authorities. As former chair of Leeds High School, a former chair of Leeds High School heads, Neil is also a lay member of the council for the University of Leeds. Under Neil's leadership, Roundhay School has become one of the most popular schools in Leeds, and a great deal has been done to focus on improving opportunities and aspirations for students from disadvantaged backgrounds. In recognition of his work, Neil was awarded OBE in the Queen's New York Honours List 2016 for services to education. And here we go. Gold envelopes and everything. And the winner is both Jan and Neil, as the judges felt the service that both of you have given to society has genuinely been outstanding. Please welcome us and joining them on the stage, please. Up you come. Unfortunately,
Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. sit your hallelujah. Girl, sit your hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch.
Now, unfortunately, Jan couldn't be here this evening. Unfortunately, she's unwell, but we do have Murray-Ann Haar here instead to accept it on her behalf, and it was Murray who was the nominator for Jan this evening, so thank you very much for that. I'm not going to ask you to give a quick talk, but Neil, would you be happy to give a few words to us?
Right, thank you. Sure, thank you very much. Would you mind doing me the honours? Of course. Well, I've always wanted to be part of the Oscars, and this is as close as I'm going to get to it, I think. Well, congratulations to everyone here, and we were just having a conversation earlier, so I feel very honoured to get this award tonight. And I know there are many achievements that we're going to hear about this evening that make me feel even more of a fraud than normal, to be honest. I suppose it just shows that extraordinary things can happen to ordinary people like myself. I failed my 11 plus. I'm nearly over that trauma, but it's still there. And I left school without a single qualification. And if you talk to my staff, they pretty much understand that. Now, I've been very lucky to work in a career with wonderful people who've held that belief that we're hearing a little bit about today, about giving people the opportunities to be the best they can be, regardless of their background or ethnicity or whatever those barriers are. And that's something that I've been very fortunate to work with people who think in that way. So I'd just like to finish with 3 thank yous. Thank you to the Vice-Chancellor for this idea and this first event, and to Helen, who's done so much to sterling work to make this happen. I'd like to thank CCAT, which is Cambridge College of Arts and Technology, which is right back in the beginning, not quite the 1850s, but quite a long way back. And I've made some lifelong friends, and Matt and Ian are 2 remarkable people who are on the table with me today. And finally, I'd like to thank Cambridge College of Arts and Technology, and as it's transformed itself into Anglia Ruskin. I think there were just 300 undergraduates when I took my degree. And they gave me a wonderful opportunity and opened doors to me that's allowed myself to open doors with my colleagues for people less fortunate to have the opportunities that I've had. And I think that's all that one could want. And I feel very humbled by that. I wish everyone all the best, and thank you very much indeed.
I'd just like to say on behalf of Jan, there are a few people she wanted to thank as well, and one of them was a Dr. Ian Brodie, who she actually didn't have any qualifications or many qualifications when she started here, and he gave her the opportunity, so she was very grateful for that. And a couple of, one of her colleagues that we both work with is Professor Woody Khan, who's also encouraged her along since she started work, and he also worked here for a while, so that's, yes, as well as her family and friends, so, yeah.
Thank you. Right. The next award is the Alumni Entrepreneur of the Year. This award recognises alumni who have made a transformative contribution to the local, national or international community through an enterprising business venture. The first nominee is Lloyd Amsden. Lloyd graduated with a BA Honours in History and in 2002 co-founded the Watchfinder business, which specialises in buying, selling and servicing pre-owned luxury watches from 50 brands including Rolex, Patek Philippe, Omega, Tag Heuer and Cartier. Watchfinder is now regarded as one of the pioneers of omni-channel retail in the luxury market, combining the best of digital innovation, traditional store retail and old-fashioned customer service. During the last 15 years, Watchfinder has grown to become the largest pre-owned retailer in Europe, with 2015 sales at £66 million. And in 2016, sales forecasts are £90 million. During this time, it has also been nominated and won many of the UK's most prestigious awards, including Fast Track. They've also achieved a hat-trick of Watch Retailer of the Year awards from the UK watch and jewellery industry. Lloyd is proud that Watchfinder now employs over 160 people, including 50 highly skilled staff who repair and restore watches. And to safeguard a new generation of UK watchmakers, Watchmaker has developed an industry-first watchmaking qualification and the government's apprentice scheme. In true entrepreneurial spirit, Lloyd also co-founded a corporate hospitality business, Hospitality Finder, 10 years ago. Today, the business has a £10 million turnover and employs 30 staff. In recent years, it has been awarded the Hospitality Red Rose by the Rugby Football Union as an official supplier of England rugby packages. Shareholders in the business include ex-England player Mike Tindall and Lawrence Delagio. The second nominee is Eddie Law. Eddie graduated with an LLB Law Honours in 1999. In 2007, Eddie founded the first of its kind law portal in Malaysia, eLawyer, to bring the gap in legal recruitment and legal services. Today, eLawyer has helped more than 500 law firms and large corporations, has more than 7,500 registered basic members, more than 370,000 unique visitors, assisted more than 500 legal talents to secure ideal jobs, connected more than 1,000 people with suitable lawyers, not sustainable lawyers, and the last thing you want is your lawyer to run out, and connected more than 11,000 lawyers, sustainable or otherwise, and law students through Facebook. Eddie has successfully transformed the legal career market, and eLawyer is regarded as the market leader and regional gateway to Malaysian legal talents. In recognition of this, Eddie was named by Asia Law Portal as one of the 30 people to watch in the business of law in Asia in 2015. Our final nomination for this category is Nigel Livingston. Nigel graduated in 2001 with a BSc Honours in Business and Politics. Nigel founded Optimus Search, a recruitment company, in 2005, just 4 years after graduating. He only had 15 months recruitment experience at the time, but that didn't stop him pitching to a bank for a £50,000 loan, which he received, despite being told they rarely lend so much money to a person of 25 years of age and having such little experience. Despite an initial setback, Optimus Search repaid the loan within 6 months, and in 2013 they were recognised in the Sunday Times Virgin Fast Track 100 as the 53rd fastest growing company in the UK. Optimus Search will gross in the region of 3.8 million this year and are viewed as a leading recruitment company in the German technology market. And the winner is Lloyd Amsden.
Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone.
If I can ask you a quick word of thanks.
Good evening. If you'd asked me to be spontaneous, I would have prepared a couple of days in advance, but I didn't realise. Thank you very much to Ian and to Gary and to Helen, who invited me tonight. It's a real privilege to make everyone know that if I can do it, literally anybody else can. I've been really interested to speak to some of the people about what's been happening at the university since I left, which was well over 20 years ago, which is quite depressing. But no, thank you very much for the award. Thank you to my Lucy and to my family for all their support, which is obviously a big part of it. But yeah, have a good evening and thank you.
Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance.
Our runners-up are Nigel Livington and Eddie Law. Unfortunately, Nigel is unable to be with us this evening, so I'd like to invite Professor Gary Packham, Pro Vice-Chancellor and Dean of the Lord Ashcroft International Business School, to collect the certificate on Nigel's behalf. So if you'd both please join us on the stage to collect the certificates.
I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. Under the lights when everything goes.
The third award this evening is the Alumni Contribution to Culture Award. This award recognises alumni who have made a considerable contribution to the local, national or international cultural community. Our first nominee is Griff Harris, who graduated in 1976 with a CNAA BA Honours Geography degree. Griff is a musician, performer, educator, lecturer, broadcaster, administrator and fluent Welsh speaker. He has performed with a wide range of prestigious ensembles, including the National Symphony Orchestra, and throughout his career, Griff has created opportunities for young and old, amateur and professional alike, to enjoy and become involved with music in numerous ways. Griff has recently been made an honorary member of the Gorsedd of the Bards of the National Eisteddfod of Wales. It was slow for emphasis. An award, an award given in recognition of his services to music and the arts in the Principality. All right. Griff is also one of the founders of both the National Youth Jazz and National Youth Wind Orchestra of Wales, as well as one of the highly successful Swansea Community Orchestra. He has also been a judge for BAFTA Wales, as well as for the prestigious BBC Young Musician of the Year Awards competition. Through his unstinting efforts, hundreds of Welsh musicians and singers alike have had the chance to learn, play and improve their musical skills through performance and masterclass opportunities. Our second nominee for the award is Nicholas Jewett, who completed a foundation certificate from the Cambridge School of Art in 1981. Nicholas's career as an artist took him to the States as a Rotary Scholar, where his studies at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago led to 14 years living and painting in studios both in Los Angeles and New York. Moving back to the UK in 2002, Nicholas was commissioned to paint a series of paintings for the Royal Opera House. Later, he returned to Cambridge. A PGCE from the University of Cambridge presented another path of sharing art as a language, and in Nicholas's own words, being a dyslexic made it no easy task. These experiences have been distilled into a recent publication on dyslexia by Dr. Richard Hickman, and Nicholas has now been appointed by King's College as their official artist facilitator, teaching adult workshops to both students and fellows. Our third and final nominee in this category is Leo Reitzel. Leo graduated with a BA Honours in Fine Art in 1996. Leo started MTV in 1996, just 3 months after graduating from ARU. As a creative manager, Leo branded and promoted both on and off-air several channels and also launched in excess of over 40 channels. In 2003, she went to work for Disney Channel, where she was the creative lead for all four UK Disney channels. Leo won multiple industry awards for branding and communication campaigns and took the lead in launching Disney's first ever terrestrial channel, ABC One. Leo was also in charge of the creation of daily shows Good Morning Raoul with Raoul, which was hosted by a Mexican dinosaur, yes, you guessed it, called Raoul. Raoul was a puppet created by world-renowned Henson's Creature Workshop. The show became so popular it was translated into several European languages and made it as an arts question in the 20th edition of the UK's Trivial Pursuit game. In 2007, Leo was offered the role as creative director at Discovery Channel. She worked across a portfolio of 12 channels. Leo managed a team of 30 full-time staff and 20 regular freelancers and once again won multiple awards. Leo came back to Cambridge in 2010 to set up her own creative agency, Brand Anonymous. Since its inception, the agency has focused on health, the arts, and education with the NHS, various universities including Anglia Ruskin and the University of Cambridge, as well as private clients, arts organisations, community events, and charities. And the winner is it's Leah Reitzel.
Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so clear. Look out. Second verse for the hustlers, gangsters, bad bitches, and your ugly ass friends. I cannot preach, I cannot preach. I gotta show them how I pimp get it in. First, take your sip, do your dip, spend your money like money ain't shit.
Okay. I really want to say thank you to Anglia Ruskin for organising this for all alumni and new graduates as well. I think it's a huge inspiration. I also really want to thank Chris Owen and his entire team at the Cambridge School of Art. They welcomed me back with open arms after best part of 2 decades after I graduated. I'm currently the fellow of the School of Art, which is a huge privilege, and this is seriously, thank you so much. And also thank you so much to my guests who came with me, because they have supported me throughout my career, but also they encouraged me to be creative and break new boundaries, which is something I definitely learned at the Cambridge School of Art. So thank you very much.
Our runners-up are Griff Harries and Nicholas Jewett. Unfortunately, Griff is unable to be with us this evening, so I'd like to invite Professor Martin Hewitt, Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences, to collect the certificate on Griff's behalf. If both of you could join us on stage, or if you could join us in welcoming Nicholas and Martin to the stage, please.
Put your love on me, 'cause I won't let you down. I won't let you down. I will be singing. Girl, put your love on me. I feel it all around. I feel it all around. I will be singing. Girl, put your love on me, 'cause I won't let you down. I won't let you down. I will be singing.
I wrote a brief sort of thing, which I'll probably skim here, but a few things I wanted to say. It's been lovely to be here and to be a part of this group and this idea. So I'm, of course, here as also as an artist who has other skills as well, which I've contributed to many cities like Chicago and Los Angeles and New York and London and Zagreb and Szeged and Washington DC. And last stop on the train is Cambridge. So I didn't plan to come back to Cambridge, but I guess I'm a salmon. Anyway, I want to, thanks goes to first to Anglia Ruskin University in 2016 for having us here for this celebration of every one of us, and it's fantastic. Thanks also goes to the valued teachers in the School of Art, good place, isn't it? School of Art in 1981, where CCAT allowed me to combine arts with computer studies, and it was a pivotal moment to my outlook, marketing my traditional medium of oils while in control of my own ideas expressed in an entrepreneurial way through technology and media. To make the unimaginable leap out as a creative person requires friends, allies, along with mentoring, and obviously, clearly, that's what Anglia Ruskin University did, as many other institutes did thereafter. So I'll skip that bit, and I just want to say culture is currency, but it does need coordinating, teased, pushed, inspired in order to have created a community where there is output, not just some vague dream. And so as a teacher, I've worked very hard to use my links and my entrepreneurial and chatty ways to make things happen so that young people had all their own options put out for them so they could be successful doing interesting things like being the Facebook for Fitzwilliam Museum, educational thing. Another student did the mayor's card, which the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge loved. And so all these things you can do as a creative person, all of us, doesn't matter what subject you are, engaging people, getting out there, putting out the energy. So thank you so much for having me. Okay? Thank you very much.
We'll
Our fourth award is the Young Alumni of the Year, which recognises an alumnus under 35 years of age who has distinguished themselves professionally since graduating from Anglia Ruskin and is likely to inspire the next generation of alumni. For this award, we decided to select one winner with no runners-up. I'm therefore delighted to announce that the winner is Michelle McAvoy. Michelle graduated in 2004 with a BA Honours in Business and Management, an inaugural scholar of the Marketing Academy, a Marketing Week Rising Star, and listed as one of the Observer's Future 500. Michelle is acknowledged as one of the most talented leaders shaping industry. Her career is a mix of business and consumer sales and marketing, which saw her leading a major retail marketing drive for the Walt Disney Company, establishing the UK marketing capability function for Heineken, and co-founding award-winning social enterprise Inventing Futures. In May 2015, Michelle became co-founder of the 3.0. Michelle and her team want to create a world where business is a positive driver of change, where the pillars of a well-functioning society, communities, business, government, NGOs, work as partners to deliver lasting solutions to genuine social and environmental challenges. Mike Connolly, former director of the Walt Disney Company and DreamWorks Animation, said of Michelle, "Through my many years of managing several different organizations, Michelle has stood out to be one of the elite. Her executive maturity, sales and marketing acumen, and second-to-none sense of urgency all combine to make a lethal dose of success. Michelle will be a chief executive one day. One can only hope to have stock in the company she is managing." So please join me in welcoming and congratulating Michelle to the stage.
Very shocked, A, at having won, and B, being considered young at 34 and a half. I've just made it in by the skin of my teeth. Anglia Ruskin was a really formative experience for me, and when I moved to Disney, I definitely took the spirit of Anglia Ruskin with me, and I think one of Walt Disney's most famous quotes was, "If you can dream it, you can do it," and that was definitely something I left the organisation with. So thank you to Ian for this evening, for having us along. I would thank my husband, he's not here, so I thank my mum-in-law for joining as well. And yeah, just thank you very much. And I didn't prep anything, so I don't really have anything else to say. But thank you.
Our last award this evening is the Alumni Lifetime Achievement Award, which recognises an alumnus who has distinguished themselves for their excellent and sustained contributions and achievements in their chosen field over their professional lifetime. We have again decided to select just one winner for this award, and I'm thrilled to announce that the winner is... We need a drum roll, don't we? Thank you. See, that's the Anglia Ruskin inclusive spirit I was talking about, the creative table, thank you. The winner is Stephanie Newell. Stephanie graduated with a first-class undergraduate degree in English and European thought and literature in 1991. She left Anglia Ruskin with a passion for literary studies, inspired by her lecturers, who encouraged her to get the British Academy Award for the master's degree at SOAS University of London, which launched her career in African studies. In Stephanie's own words, she is now a tenured full professor of English at Yale University, thanks to the inspiration of her Anglia teachers. Today, Stephanie is regarded as a leading researcher by senior scholars in Africa, in the UK and the USA. Her current fellowships include Robinson's College, Cambridge, and the African Studies Centre, the University of Cambridge, where she held the Smuts Memorial Postdoctoral Fellowship from 1998 to 2001. Stephanie's latest book, The Power to Name, was shortlisted for the prestigious Herskowitz Award for African Studies in 2014. Stephanie's research focuses on issues of gender, sexuality, politics, and power as articulated through popular print culture in colonial West Africa. Her current research project, The Cultural Politics of Dirt in Africa, was awarded a €2.3 million grant by the European Research Council in 2013. This project employs 2 teams of African researchers and colleagues from Yale. Her publications, 26 international peer-reviewed journal articles, 16 book chapters, 5 monographs with university presses, and 8 edited collections or editions, among many other publications, have contributed to the emergence and recognition of African cultural history and African popular culture. In Stephanie's own words, her major achievement lies in her contributions to the inspiration and nurturing of young and early career scholars. Between 2010 and 2014, as Vice President and subsequently President of the African Studies Association of the UK, which is affiliated to the Royal African Society, she represented the interests of African studies, academics and researchers in the UK and Africa through writing workshops, career placements at African universities, dissertation prizes, and collaborations with British universities to bring early career African scholars to the UK. In the 22 years that Stephanie has been a teacher, my girlfriend's called Sophie, sorry. In the 22 years that Stephanie's been a teacher, she's inspired students to take risks with ideas and brought out the best in individuals who, like herself, lacked self-confidence and required the guidance of dedicated scholars to inspire them to succeed. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Stephanie to the stage.
I'm free to be the greatest I'm alive. I'm free to be the greatest here tonight. The greatest, the greatest, the greatest alive. The greatest, the greatest alive. Oh, want another breath, but I got stamina.
Thank you very much. I don't mind being called Sophie. It's a lovely name. As you can tell, I never left university. I didn't quite manage to leave the doors, and I just want to say how honoured I am to be awarded this. It's absolutely wonderful. In a way, when I started, I went to Cambridge College of Art and Technology, and Ben anticipated what I was going to say here because. When I graduated, my dad went around telling, who I'm very honoured to say is here tonight as well, he went around saying to people, well, she took a first from Cambridge, and people would say, oh, which college? And I'd really proudly say Cambridge College of Art and Technology. I was so proud of that. My teachers were so committed, so passionate, so encouraging. And when I wrote my dissertation, my undergraduate dissertation, they encouraged me to publish it in an academic journal. And that is kind of what got me addicted. You know, it's very healthy and useful for an academic when you first see your name in print. It's a little bit addictive, so you want to see it in print again and again. And so that one first publication really set me on my pathway. 2 of my favourite professors have actually joined us this evening. I'm really so happy that Felicia Gordon and Ian Gordon have come up from Cambridge in order to be present tonight. They were my inspiration. Felicia in particular put me on the pathway to where I am now. So I'm just very honoured to receive this. And thank you, Anglia Ruskin, for helping me to get where I am today. Thank you.
And before you get too far, Stephanie, would you and the rest of the winners and runners-up mind coming up to the stage to get one final big photo, please?
Happiness is you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along
Well, I think you'll agree it's been a wonderful evening, and everyone has massively deserved these awards. Before we do finish, I'll just hand back over to Ian, who's got a few closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Ben. It really has been a great evening. Many of you know my background's medicine, but I stopped practicing clinically 7 or 8 years ago as I moved into more university jobs. And a number of my colleagues have said, don't you miss it? And yes, there are bits that I do miss. But what I have now is a job that gives you the absolute privilege of engaging with people from such an incredible range of backgrounds and disciplines. I can have conversations about engineering, about business, about creative arts, about healthcare, in a way that almost no other job gives you. And I think tonight what we've seen is the richness of what Anglia Ruskin and its antecedent organisations have given society through the education, through the transformational power of education. But there's also been another theme which I think is really important and one that we should not forget. It's not about from where you've come, it's about what happens to you here and where you go afterwards. And that has to be a key part of what Anglia Ruskin is about. It's been a key part to date. We need to make sure we do that. We've seen people who've come, brought a whole range of skills, but not necessarily the measured academic background that some institutions have been looking for, but they've succeeded with it. They've taken the essence of here, their skills and talents, and made a real difference. That's why I love doing my job, because I get to interact with people like that every day. Medicine was great, but this job is even better because of what you see and the people I get to work with. So, once again, congratulations to all of our winners, all of the nominees, but also the other 90 or so people who were put forward for these awards, all of whom had similar stories. It was a difficult job. So congratulations once again to everybody. Finally, evenings like tonight don't happen by accident. I'd like to thank the Alumni Board who sat through and looked through and reviewed the applications. They did that selflessly for us. Fantastic. I'd like to thank our enormous alumni team, I'm joking, all two, for pulling the award evening together tonight, and the mechanics, our events team, and everybody else who's been involved in this evening. And particularly thanks to those who convinced me that we could transform a sports hall into the event this evening. It's fair to say I was a wee bit sceptical, but I've been proved yet again absolutely wrong. So can I join everybody here in thanking everybody who's both won an award, been nominated for an award, and made this evening happen. Thank you very much indeed. I hope very much tonight is the beginning of a number of alumni events and an annual award evening like this. I think we've seen a lot tonight that would make me absolutely convinced we should do this again and again and again. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope you've had a great evening. Enjoy tea and coffee afterwards. Travel safely. Have a wonderful holiday period. I hope it is truly relaxing and peaceful. Probably for many of you it won't be, because the kind of drive that many of you have means it's not relaxing and peaceful, but fantastic. And finally, thank you to Ben, not only for emceeing tonight, but also providing the most extraordinary commentary over dinner tonight around the behaviour of chimps, spiders with blue eyes, whales washed up in beaches, and many, many other stories, some of which are not repeatable again, because this is on social media. Ben, thank you very much indeed. Travel safely.